283 Maryland Medical Assistance Program, Gender Affirming Treatment, Trans Health Equity Act. Favor report is amended, adopted. Amendment number 1.
Recognize the gentleman who asked for the layover.
Thank you, Madam Speaker. I appreciate the opportunity yesterday to have laid this bill over so that the members could read the bill. I don't know if the committee has had an opportunity to review the amendment. Maybe I can yield to them first before I continue.
Committee Chair.
Thank you, Madam Speaker, and good morning, everyone. Thank you for the courtesy. The committee has had an opportunity to review it, and the floor leader is ready to address it when you're ready. Thank you. Thank you, Madam Speaker.
Thank you.
Thank you, Madam Speaker. Then, if I may, Madam Speaker, I would like to ask the floor leader some questions.
Floor leader.
Thank you, Madam Speaker.
Good morning. Has the amendment been considered, accepted, or rejected?
The amendment has been considered and has been rejected.
Okay, so under current, some questions then, if I may. Under current Medicaid requirements in Comar in Maryland, it says that services can be provided to individuals 18 years of age and older. This bill, I think you have indicated previously in the voting session, was going to codify Comar, but it doesn't include the 18 and older. So does this bill then apply to children?
Currently, Medicaid provides some gender-affirming care for children. So that already is happening. What's not happening is a number of different services that particularly apply to adults are not being offered.
Okay, so would one of those, thank you for that, would one of those, and I'm reading from the gender transition services under the Maryland Medicaid program, it says here, the individual is at least 18 years of age, and the individual has capacity to make fully informed decisions and consent for treatment. That's currently in Comar, and I'm reading directly from the document.
You are reading directly from the document. We do have information from the Medicaid office that gender-affirming care is being offered to children.
So is a vaginectomy offered to children in Maryland, and would this bill allow that?
No.
That's not so, because it says it right here. If we're eliminating the 18 years of age requirement, which that's what this bill does, then from a female to male transition of a child, a vaginectomy would be permitted because we're removing the 18 years of age requirement.
So let me back up just a bit around how these decisions are made.
Can I ask you a question, though? What is a vaginectomy?
Can I answer? I'm going to answer your question, but I need for the body to understand, because out of context, you know, the answer sounds different than what the true spirit and intent is. So the context is the decisions about what medically necessary and medically indicated gender-affirming care is appropriate at any point after the gender dysphoria diagnosis is made by, if the person is under 18, it's made by the patient. The parent is required. The parent is a required part of this process, and the medical provider. So in those rare, extremely rare circumstances where the patient, the parent, and the medical provider believe that it might be necessary, medically, not believe, know that it's medically necessary and indicated to proceed with surgery, then they will make the decision to do that. That's what this bill allows.
So this bill, House Bill 283, would allow a vaginectomy, and I'm going to ask again, what is a vaginectomy of children I'm talking about? Because we're removing the 18 years of age and older requirement.
It's not something that we would do in children.
But
Unless there was cancer or some other medical condition that would cause that.
That's not, I'm sorry, but that's not so. Under the Maryland Medicaid program, and this bill specifically states that it would apply to people under the age of 18, which are children. And here are the services, and those services can and shall be provided pursuant to all of the things that you just said, one of them being a vaginectomy.
So I'm going to go back to medically necessary, indicated, and consistent with the standards of care. This is not in any way, a decision that is being made impulsively.
So a male to female transition, there is the belief by certainly those who have put their names behind House Bill 283. I just want to be clear that children are capable of making the decisions to have male to female transition for a vaginectomy, a hysterectomy, a mastectomy, an ovurectomy. If any of these items were truly medically necessary, they would be done for the health of the individual. But that's not what the purpose of this is. This is not about health. This is about male to female transition and female to male transition of children. So what is a vaginectomy?
It's a removal of the vagina.
Of a child.
We're not talking about children, though. We are talking about, and I just need to go back to, no child, this bill in no way says that a child can make an independent decision about what kind of care they need, including gender-affirming surgery.
In the bill it says, and I'm reading from the bill, alterations to the genitals and gonads, laser treatment for scars and gender-affirming treatment, alterations to the abdomen, chest, trunk, and buttocks. And it just goes on and on. This is from the bill.
Right.
The bill matches the gender transition services under the Maryland Medicaid program, which includes a vaginectomy, which the bill clearly says would be something that could be done at taxpayer expense for children under the ages of 18. So what is a vaginectomy, since that is in the bill?
So the bill is allowing it under the extreme circumstances. Just because it's in the bill doesn't mean it's going to be done. That's number one. But number two, I'm just going to go back to, and you're going to, I think, get tired of hearing me say, medically necessary and indicated for the health of the individual. I disagree with you, sir, when you said this is not about health. This is absolutely about health. And yesterday, you referenced that this is a very serious bill. I totally agree with you that this is a very serious bill. It is especially serious for the 6,000 transgender people on Medicaid who do not have the available services currently available to them under our Medicaid program, when people who can afford commercial insurance have all of those options available to them to make themselves healthy and whole.
And those 6,000 people are over 18. They're 18 years of age or older. We're talking about children here, and I really want to keep the focus to that because that's what this bill is. This bill is applying what adults are doing to themselves, and they are adults, and they get to make those decisions because they are adults, to children. Among other things, a palloplasty, and I could very well be saying it wrong, scrotoplasty, a placement of testicular prostheses, mastectomy, children, male to female transition, a penectomy, a clitoroplasty, a labioplasty, a vaginoplasty. And it's further my understanding that it would also include puberty blockers for children. Is that so?
Puberty blockers are currently used
Not on
by
children.
Medicaid. Yes, they are.
Not for transitioning. So it says here hormone therapy, hormone blockers, and puberty blockers, which is a dead giveaway that it's for children. And so my question is, isn't it so that there is an enormous loss of bone capacity and bone density as a result of putting children on puberty blockers?
The answer, sir, I'm being told, and the research says no, that's not true.
So there is an enormous amount of research and data, and it is indeed so that by putting children on these drugs, we are ruining their bone density. And I have the data here. I'm not going to read it because we can all read data, but it is so.
Okay. So, any medications that we take, it may affect bone density, but if the medical provider who has prescribed based on medical necessity and indication the puberty blocker, then they would also supplement it with vitamin D and other supplements that would counteract that impact.
And I appreciate this, Madam Speaker. I do. I just have, I think, 2 more questions, and there are some others that do as well. Can you please tell me what a penectomy is?
It's right. It's the removal of the penis.
Of children.
Pardon?
Of children.
It is not specific to children.
The bill is. So can any of these, can
No.
that be reversed?
She answered your question.
Can this be reversed?
A penectomy?
Well, a child.
Yes. It is possible to do that, yes, to reverse that.
You can reverse it.
Yes.
So the removal of a penis can be, but it can be reversed, I presume, with what?
So surgeons currently reconstruct penises all the time for folks who identify as male and want to have that organ,
And this is-
or if it was damaged in some way. So yes, it is possible.
And so they're using cadaver penises, is that so?
No.
That's not my understanding. So there are some other questions, Madam Speaker, and it's a serious matter, and I hear a lot of chatter, and it's an important issue to us. So I think that the members should listen closely.
Madam
Thank you.
Speaker, may
Yes.
I ask, is
Good.
the gentleman
Vice Chair.
moving his amendment?
Yes, the gentleman is moving his amendment, but there are a lot of other members in the caucus who do want to speak on this and the amendment and to ask you questions. And I do appreciate your patience. Thank you.
Okay,
And
thank
the
you.
chairman's patience as well.
Anyone else on the amendment has been, yes, go ahead.
Thank you, Madam